Nothing, nothing, nothing. Bam!
You may not know, but Brian plays a little harp guitar too.
I'd like to raise the sails again, watching for the whales again, and never have to say I wish that I had done the things that I can't do when I'm too old to play.
Ah, the calm before the storm. The remnants of the cold are supposed to blow through tonight. And we'll be headed out and around, possibly tomorrow, possibly Sunday. Still thinking about it. Well, it is 7:15. I was supposed to be leaving this morning, but last night I was running the engine and the hot water light, alarm light, came on. I said, oh God, not now. And after poking around, I found the impeller missing 3 of its fins. So, aha, okay, good. Replaced the impeller, except that the 3 fins were not right there in the housing. They had disappeared up into the system someplace. So after a bit of looking at the manual and YouTube University, I ended up pulling off the back of the heat exchanger, and that's where I found all this junk, including the bits of the impeller. So, and while I was there, the sacrificial zinc was shot, and I happen to have another one. So that's here. So I'm going to put this back together and hope that that dang light goes off, because that really should be the problem right there. Damn it! Light is still on. Yeah. Been a beautiful day to go someplace, and I'm a little concerned. I mean, I think I've done everything. After talking to a mechanic, I'm comfortable with the idea that the gauge is sending a false signal to the light. I checked the weather, and it appears that after the remnants of Hurricane Nicole pass through, which you see here, the weather moderates and then turns a direction that helps me. It comes from the north and pushes me down toward Hatteras, and then works to the northeast and pushes me down toward Cape Lookout and Beaufort. So I scooped up my dock pumpkin and cast off the lines. Goodbye, White House Cove Marina. Lovely. But it's time to move on. I think we're going to go on the outside. We've got a perfect forecast. I'll sleep in the day a little bit and be awake at night. That's the plan anyway. What a November day. It was 80 degrees. Just beautiful. Well, we're headed for the Bay Bridge and then out. I'd be lying if I said I was not apprehensive a little bit going around Hatteras in November alone, but I just spoke with a guy who's done it a few times, and he said the stream is 60 miles offshore, so I'm just staying 10 miles offshore. So it shouldn't be a problem wave-wise, you know, wind against the stream. It's supposed to be 22, 23, 25 knots, but on the stern. So I'll just put a little scrap of jib out and see how we do. Wish me luck. That's the Bay Bridge, where it dives underwater. And here's our gap. It's a pretty nice breeze here for this first part, and we've got the full bore of the tide going with it, so we're making nice numbers, 6s and 7s. I would love to get as close to Hatteras as possible before the strong northerlies kick in. and I'm hanging on for dear life. So it's 3:40 now. The wind is supposed to fill in north around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So they say. So as many miles as I can make any which way, motoring, sailing, motor sailing, I'm going to do it. And get into Beaufort. Screw the ditch. The ditch was going to be a long, cold, tough on the legs, standing 6-7 hours a day. This will have its issues too, but for a lot less time. There appear to be 2 other boats going around as well. At least it looks that way from here. Kind of comforting in a way. The wind and waves were still pretty mellow, and with minimal traffic I was able to get a catnap here and there. Well, this is it. Got our north wind. And the north wind showed up like a freight train. Nothing, nothing, nothing. BAM! It hit in a blast. And I had the double reefed main up. At least it was reefed. But we just ran it up into the wind and everything flapped and was chaos. That initial blast of wind that came was stronger than what this is. Well, we're moving with it, so our 5.5 knots, so forward speed is subtracting from what I feel. So that feels like 13, 14, it's probably 18, 19, 20, something like that. Not too bad. The waves are relatively small, 4 feet, maybe 5 sometimes. So far it's manageable. I just don't know if I've gotten enough sleep. I tried to sleep a couple times last night. I got a few hours, twice I think. So that's something, but we'll see if it's enough. And Ralph will steer in this. I had it going before. It was too much of a zigzag, so I'm hand steering, but it will steer, so I can go do things. It's supposed to settle down somewhat at some point. I just hope it does by the time I round Hatteras, so it should be around 6, 7 o'clock tonight, in the dark, of course. But I've got to turn much more beam onto this wind, so. Whose idea was this anyway? I could have been chugging down the ICW, which I wasn't looking forward to, but suddenly it seems okay. Once I get in, I'll be glad I did this, I'm sure. But between now and then, I'm not liking it. Mostly from the point of view of being tired. I finally get to see the sun, and it's gonna go away, which I really don't like. I'd much rather have it be up for the rounding of Hatteras. I'm gonna have to do this in the dark, which I'm not looking forward to. But the buoys are lighted, so that should be something. Not much sail. We're moving along. 5 knots. Sunset. Just stay there like 3 more hours. That was super. As I neared Hatteras, I had this last little bit of light, but it was pretty well dark soon after that. Fortunately, the wind that let me run before it on this leg veered and let me run before it on this next leg. And the new wave train was much smaller, so I was able to let Ralph steer it. Well, I've managed to sleep the whole night in little 1 and 2 hour gulps. If you can see, I've just had this little scrap of jib out for quite a while now. Ow. I slept a few times and then finally pulled all the stuff off that I had on. All these layers on, and they were all wet. Felt really good to put dry stuff on. Oh, that must look like hell. That is not a good trip to do solo. Oof. Another issue was my running lights quit, and I was able to put a red and green gel on this garden light and have something of a running light set up. So here is the first of our Cape Lookout buoys, taking us around the end of all the shoaling that extends way offshore. I can't even see shore. That's how far it sticks out. Here is the other buoy marking the turn point, which is good news and bad. I've got to now cut across all this nastiness. So it's going to get unpleasant, I think. Oh, the jib's complaining already. Well, so far so good cutting across this stuff, but I'm not able to hold a course quite. I don't know if you can see it there. I mean, I've got it come a little closer to the wind. I don't think that's going to be possible. The jib's already complaining. So after a pretty unpleasant 5 hours, I did make it to Beaufort, but happily it was at least daylight. Coming into Beaufort. Guess I caught something. Still the best sound in sailing, and that was one happy anchors down. What do you think of my little spot here? All right, let's see. We left Saturday at noon, and it's now Monday 4:30, so 2 days plus. Not bad.
Right now, Muriel is doing her Downers Grove show, so here's a clip from a prior show where she and Pat Donahue play Hawaiian Lullaby, and I joined them. You'll get a kick out of this. Watch.
Let's call Brian out and bring him. This is Brian Allen, ladies and gentlemen. And you may not know, but Brian plays a little harp guitar too.
Very serious instrument.
So we thought we'd finish off, and maybe you can join us in this Hawaiian tune. Well, it's not really Hawaiian, I wrote it, but it's supposed to sound a little Hawaiian for you. Call this Hawaiian Lullaby. And Pat, you can just make some Hawaiian sounds there. Brian, join us in the harp-a-lele. Pat Donahue.
And Muriel Anderson. Thank you so much.